Alright, so in the last video we talked about the bush runner. This one is the Deuce. On the back of it we've got roughly 9 configurations shown. And again, like the bush runner, there's definitely more configurations you can do with this stove than just the 9 on the box. And you're not restricted to this little tiny Potbelly stove with the Deuce either. You can build so many different configurations. I'm probably not going to be able to show you all of them, but we're going to play with the Deuce today. Let's put together the flagship configuration on the front. Okay, so the first thing that we do in order to build our StealthFyre Deuce is we'll construct the bush runner stove from the previous kit and configuration videos. We will build 2 small towers, 2 rocket stoves basically, which will go together in the form of a Dakota fire hole. There is our bush runner. Now we are going to build the tower to put on top of it. And there's 2 different ways to build this tower. I'm going to show you both of them. And there you have it. That is the Deuce. It's actually quite a tall stove, but you can bury it to about here. And this will be sitting on the soil at this area here. You'll have a nice deep fire pit to add wood to, and a cooking surface here, and a cooking surface here. This is great for like putting a pot of coffee on up here so that you can boil your coffee and then you can cook dinner down here or breakfast or boil a pot of water so that you can make soup as well. This would work well in a shelter, probably not so much for heating purposes because it is a small stove, but you can still harness enough heat to prepare food inside of a shelter without having to worry too much about smoke indoors. Now we're going to take this apart and we're going to build this as a more low profile Potbelly style stove. And now this stove is a much lower profile stove. You still got a feed hole here with a deep fire pit, but you got closer access to the fire, a much lower chimney, and a lower profile all around. If you bury this thing in the ground like this, your stove's only about 4.5 to 5 inches off of the ground. And this is another version of the tiny Potbelly style Dakota fire pit that you have access to in our smaller version of the stoves. Any stove that comes with this small square panel will be able to build a small Dakota fire pit. And if you have at least 4 of these panels, you'll be able to build something like this or the previous small Potbelly stove that I showed you.